something's not right. This is so much rubbish. Well, so far, the Caldon Canal is all drama. Let's hope it's all worth it. Boop, 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 bobbing along. Hi, we're Stuart and Emmie, and we're child-free after infertility. So we decided to change our life plans and moved on to a narrowboat. We're sharing our adventures here, and you're welcome to join us.
Day
the rain
2
has stopped, yeah.
of our mission to Leek. We might try and see if we can also do the frog call branch this week before we go back to, or technically next week, before we go back to Stoke-on-Trent. But first, we've got to check the weed hatch again.
Well, because, yeah, yesterday we had a bit of a... stopped us moving. There was like a whole jumper or something round the prop. And we just thought, we'll check it before we set off today.
Well,
of course, it's just started pouring with rain.
It was also really reedy, so we had to check it a couple of times and clean the reeds out of it. So we just want to do it again before we set off.
Here we go.
Yeah.
This is really bending.
Yeah. I'm on lock duties today. We've got a flight of 5, and then I think that's the end of our locks. Some of these little overflows have been quite hard to navigate around on this stretch of the Trent and Mersey. Emmie's getting really good with driving the boat, but she's a bit nervous about pulling in, and I can kind of understand why. Because it's sort of tricky.
I'm on my 3rd lock of the day, and on this one I'm feeling a lot better. There was some stress snapping and bickering from me on the first 2 locks. I was panicking because of getting sucked forwards and backwards, and the boat wasn't responding to me, trying to make it stay in one place, go forwards and backwards. And I was worried about getting stuck in a gate. But I'm feeling a lot better on this one. And practicing pulling in. And that's getting better with every try.
Not bad going. Bit sharp. Ooh, it's a bit sharp. It's very sharp. Alright, I'm giving her a 4 for that one. She's done some really good ones today as well. Beautiful job. I know it doesn't look fast, but I think she wants to be taking her speed off a little bit more before she actually gets there. See, she's going in too sharp. She's just going to whack it. Yeah. It's not awful, it's just it's a bit too quick. And now her front's going to come back out, and she's going to end up pulling it back out, pulling it hard again. Her front hasn't come out as bad. Alright, I'll give her a 5 for this one, but it's not, you know, it's... If you can see in the distance the saddest gnome in the world, she's a little bit upset with her critique from the last pulling in. She's doing really, really well. She just needs to practice, that's all. That's all it is. That is violent, that is. I'm going to give you a 6.5 on that one. You did hit it, considering you were navigating coming through a fairly tight bridge that was fairly tight to a lock. I think that was pretty good. I think maybe you're coming in a little bit of a sharp angle, like a little bit sharper than you need to.
Okay.
Yeah. Goats. Goats and boats. How you feeling?
A lot better about driving, even though I have hit the side a lot today. Just doing it has made me feel less scared of doing it, and I think because doing it is the only way I'll get better.
Yeah. It's like a little play. It's like a little playhouse or something, right?
It's a playboat on a trailer.
Yeah. Quite a narrow stretch. That's so pretty.
My feet are freezing. Pretty sure these were wet boots when I put them on, but I couldn't tell.
They didn't feel too bad.
Yeah, but they shouldn't. My feet shouldn't be this cold. So we just pulled over at the junction to see what was what, and basically there is a lock on the left and then just a going along on the right, which is the way we're going, which will then go over an aqueduct towards Leek, and the locks go down towards Froghall. So we can see what's going on now, just having a moment to enjoy our surroundings, and then we'll turn right.
So this one goes to Leek, that one drops down through 3 or 4 locks I think, and then we're going to go over it and go off that way, which is really cool. Hill cows. That's pretty. So we just came from that way, swung around there, and are now coming through here over the big aqueduct into Leek. That's why they put that wood there. There's the other bit of canal, just about. A nice spot.
Well, we've decided to stop for lunch because this boat stopped steering, so we sort of weren't moving. So we're going to check the weed hatch again, but probably first have a little bite to eat. It's 1:30 now, and we're actually nearly there. But since we're hungry and need to check the weed hatch, time to pause.
Right, let's get this done. Let's do it.
I'm so excited that I'm actually driving a boat.
So many tricky corners.
So there's a sign saying all boats longer than 45 foot should wind here. So we're doing that, and then we're mooring up. There's a little space behind that boat we're gonna try and reverse into. Stu did this from the tunnel. Stu drove. I chickened out of the tunnel. Here's the end of the canal, and it's starting to rain. We're heading into Leek now. Wait, which way are we going?
Leek, I think. Much space for anything hiding there.
Whee!
Oh, is that? Yeah. So you came through stuff.
Boop!
Yeah.
We've decided to have a little holiday exploring the whole Caldon branch. So we're in Leek now, and we'll be heading to Froggle in the next couple of days and having a little holiday.
A bit tricky to get down, but once we were down here, it's so beautiful, and it's Yes,
you were getting quite irate. Yeah, so when we set off from Stoke-on-Trent, we almost immediately came to a standstill because there was like a jumper round our prop.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was quite reedy, and it was slow going and narrow, and
constantly
you're getting
pulling stuff out of the prop.
But once we got out of Stoke-on-Trent proper, beautiful. And we got reined to a standstill before we got to there's 5 locks, and we stopped in a heavy downpour. And then the next day I did almost the entire cruise, and I'm so proud. No, well, you did do the end, and I couldn't have done that reversing.
I did the end, but you did everything up to the tunnel, and you'll be doing that on the way out.
But yeah, I'm really proud of doing those locks. I'm feeling a lot better about locks, and feeling a bit better about pulling in.
Yeah.
I'm still not, if there are boats, I'm terrified that I will not be able to pull in neatly, that I'll lose control of the boat holding the rope and hit another boat. That's what makes me really anxious, but I'm feeling a lot better, and I'll keep practicing the pulling in. Stress levels were quite high during that cruise, so I wasn't my best self. I was getting snippy and snappy when I were in stressful moments, so I'm not proud of that, but I am proud of carrying on with the cruise and doing quite a lot of it and feeling a lot better. I did knock into things, and that kind of broke a bit of a barrier for me, I think. I was so scared of hitting anything, and now that I've hit a few things and it's okay, I'm feeling more confident about continuing to practice and excited about continuing to practice. And the Caldon Canal has been a really lovely place to practice because it's been so quiet. I think it's quieter now. It's autumn anyway, but it was just really quiet on that stretch, and that was giving me space to be slow and to practice and enjoy it.
Boop boop. I think we're off for our final little jaunt into Leek. This has been a lovely spot. For the whole time we've been here, other than when we arrived, we've been the only boat here. I've seen it in summer, and it looks like it gets really busy around here in summer. We're thinking we might move on this afternoon and just make a start heading back towards the junction. I've really enjoyed Leek. I think it's a really odd but charming little town.
Hi. So we're having a lovely time in Leek, but we are now stuck here, hopefully for not too long. So basically there was Storm Kieran over the past couple of days. Was it Kieran? Anyway, it was very windy. and the Leek branch is a dead end. We're at the end, and a tree is across the canal. So we're sort of trapped here, and hopefully the tree will be cleared before we need to empty our toilets. But we have also revised our plans because we were a bit rushed. We decided to explore the whole Caldon Canal area, but be back in Stoke-on-Trent for when I have a giving blood donation appointment in a few days' time. But we've decided to take a bus from Leek to Stoke-on-Trent and do that from here, and then we'll have more time to explore the rest of the Caldon Canal, dependent on whether that tree gets removed. CRT are aware, so hopefully it won't be too long.
I think they were out looking at it today, but now it's the weekend. I can't imagine it's going to be cleared until Monday or Tuesday.
Well, even if it happens Monday or Tuesday, that's fine. So fingers crossed.
And it is proper across the canal.
Yeah. Yep, that is right across the canal. And the towpath.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere.
How would they get rid of it? Like, what do they do, do you think?
I assume, because I assume they'll just come down here with some chainsaws and chop it up.
Do they get in the water?
Yeah, maybe on a pontoon or something, or bring a boat down.
It's a big job then, a big job.
And crane it out. Probably crane it out first, actually, I imagine. When life gives you a dead tree in your path, get some firewood. Will we be trapped in Leek forever? Who knows? Or maybe find out next week. Thank you so much for watching. Please chat with us in the comments below, and we will see you next week. Bye.